Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophia, pilot into the University of Chinese. We're going to continue this special August edition about sheng plus something else. Sheng means life. That's the base layer of meaning, the made up of a plant growing in soil. And this life concept then extends into all kinds of meaning. This is the Google Translate meaning that's derived from life. And today we have 身体, which is a pretty not an everyday life because it's a special term. 身体, probably I met this term in my high school chemistry class when we say all kinds of metal pieces or materials. And the 铁, of course, we know is iron. And then within the iron category, 生铁 means unprocessed iron, raw iron. And that's Chinese. We use the 生, it means uncooked, unprocessed, unprepared, untempered iron. Okay, in its original life form, probably. And we probably form it without changing its chemical composition. We may lump it together so it's easier to transport and store, but we didn't change the chemical composition. It still remains as iron. Okay, that's 生铁 and 铁. We have the metal part on the left and some sort of complicated structure that I don't look forward to explain it because I don't know the full story, but at the same time, it's exploration. I don't really hold myself accountable that much about making mistakes here. I always have this new discovery, like from later days of me after reading more of Chinese original characters and then figure out backwards what it could have been, or I could have said earlier, but I will never wait until I feel ready to share with you. I'm discovering while I'm making this. Okay, so the left side is metal. The left and right structure, when we see metal, which is one of the 5 basic elements in Chinese, culturally classification, we have 金木水火土. Metal actually ranked number 1. 木 wood, 水 water, 火 fire, 土 soil. I mean, all of these we have met throughout the course of this 2 years, almost 2 years of making this. So 金, because it's a mineral, right? It's dug from the earth. So we have to unearth this metal piece. It's not, I guess, we don't retrieve it as easily as the other elements. But yes, of course, fire making is a major milestone in human evolution. But the 金, like the use of metal as well, is a big milestone. So 金, culturally, we recognize it as one of the 5 elements. When these elements pair with any kind of symbol on the right, that means it's a specification of what type of metal that is. And it doesn't mean 金 by itself. It actually means gold. So I guess because gold is the most expensive kind of. Am I still recording? Am I still recording? I lost my signal just a while ago, but where was I? Okay. Let's continue. I'm sorry for the interruption, but we're talking about 金 is one of the 5 metals. I mean, one of the 5 materials when Chinese classify all different elements that make up of life, right? So metal, when it pairs with another element, like this complicated thing on the right side, that means it's going to be a specific kind of metal. And 金 by itself actually means gold because gold is the most expensive type of metal. And 金 came made up of this triangular thing. You can look at it as a cover. And then we have kind of like an indicator pointing downward. The middle line is ground level. So it's pointing toward underground. And then there is something, I guess this is an indicator as well. That means it's buried in there. And the two vertical line probably is kind of like a holder, something or it could be the mineral itself in nature that's kind of scattered, and you have kind of a hole to get down, right? That's the mine opening and to get down to these metals. And this is an indicator as well to show you it's something underground and you cover it. It's probably a mining process, actually, now think about it. But in any case, it's buried underground. That's the main feature of what it means to be mineral. It's mineral extracted from the earth. Okay, so the right side, well, in simplified Chinese, it's simplified into that. It has nothing to do with this. You see, it's quite different. This thing, at least I can recognize 3 symbols to it. So this horizontal line paired with this diagonal stroke and this upturning and this downward turning is complicated. It's pronounced as gu. It's a type of weaponry. I haven't seen exactly visual representation that we keep a record of what gu is, but was used, could have been used as a farming tool in peaceful time, but as a weapon in wartime. So that's a versatility of this thing that can, it gotta have some sharp points on it to be able to be, fatal to not only farm crops, but also to another human being. So this is a commonly seen ancient weaponry. And then the top is probably means exiting somewhere, going somewhere. As you can see, it's almost like a starfish figure of like somebody who is making big strides going somewhere. And the bottom here, this is a side view, or it's now I kind of changed my mind. This probably is just a human figure. It doesn't necessarily mean it's side viewing, because in ancient Chinese rendering, human figure is not like this. This is contemporary Chinese super simplification, 2-leg standing being. That's human being. And then ancient Chinese actually have one side overwrapping the other side. So one side is longer and curvier than the straighter and the shorter side. And then when it's paired with, this is a soil symbol, you see the same as this soil symbol. That means this person standing on soil, that's presence. And then we have the mouse symbol. Mouse symbol means a speaking function, right? So somebody in presence when speaking. It's almost like in-person speech. It's more formal communication. So it's kind of equivalent to today's presentation. So Chinese call it a cheng. So it's like present. It's formally speaking while you have your full presence over there. So speaking or presentation with weaponry and executing, all 3. I don't know what's the story over there, like why that got simplified into this, which means contemporary meaning means loss. It has nothing to do with loss. But here, I can sort of understand it as, okay, the metal piece probably used as weaponry, but I don't exactly loop in like what that presentation means here and why there's exiting or people walking out or walking in big strides have anything to do with it. But in any case, iron in Chinese definition is black, color black metal. So I don't know if this means actually color black. There could be some culturally meaning embedded in color black. And this weaponry, this presentation, this walking out probably all attribute to that black colored event or behavior thing that paired with metal. That's black metal. And that's a Chinese definition of iron. And raw iron is this, in English it's called pig iron. Before I translated it with Google Translate, I never know what is a 生铁 in Chinese. In English, it actually means pig iron. So somebody used pig to mean it's raw in Chinese. So this is how pig iron looks like. All right, cash into the currency of thinking by one word a day with Sophie. See you next.